Hey everybody, welcome to In Bed with the Millennial. I'm the Millennial, Javeda Bay, and this is my bed. So, as you know, April is STI Awareness Month, so we're talking about STIs today. I know, whoa, but yay! That's what we need to be talking about. We need to talk about STIs more openly and more calmly and less stigma-y, because a lot of people, when they talk about it, is very negative talk about it, and it shouldn't be that way. So, first things first, I want to say STIs are extremely common, but also all STIs are manageable or curable. So, all the huss fuss and like, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world, not true at all. Granted, we all react to it in different ways, and if that's your immediate reaction, that is a completely valid reaction. And once you calm down and like can gather yourself, then you can approach it from a different perspective. But when you first get the news, that is a totally acceptable reaction, because from what we've been told by society, fear is like the biggest thing that they teach you around it, and you're like, oh my god, it's the end. But once you actually get to know the details, it's not the end. Fear-mongering is just a tool by so many people to like make people feel bad for choices and decisions they make, and I'm not here for that. So I'm gonna give you the real facts, so that way if it were to happen and you were to contract an STI, you don't have to like feel like, you can feel like, oh, well, Javed totally prepared me with all the information that I needed so that I could feel comfortable and like okay in this situation. So let's do that. First things first, the major STIs are going to be chlamydia, HPV, gonorrhea, syphilis, herpes, and HIV. So first things first, chlamydia is the most commonly reported STI. Not the most common, just the most commonly reported. HPV is actually the most common STI, meaning more people have contracted it than you would actually think, but it's not as reported because it's asymptomatic in most people. So there's that. So I'm not going to get into the details of all of like the symptoms and everything of each STI. If you want to check those out, you can check out the highlight section on my Instagram, because it's all there with all the facts you need. But I just want to talk about how contracting an STI is not the end of the world. And also, you shouldn't feel any shame about it. So many people are like, they have this air of shame around contracting an STI or living with an STI daily, but it's not like, no. Do you feel shame around getting the cold? Like getting mono when you make out with somebody? Like there's so many things. People just attach shame to it because it's contracted sexually, and there's so much shame around sex, but we don't do that here. It's okay. You contracted it? Okay, well, one, you got tested, so I'm proud of you because you got tested. Two, you're probably, I hope, taking the proactive steps to handle the situation, whether that means taking a week of antibiotics and no sex to actually cure it, or taking the necessary precautions to manage the STI. You're doing your part. That's what matters. Next thing, communicating it. Being open and honest in communication with partners. That is how we erase the stigma. We actually have to communicate about it. So, passing on the information about what it actually means to have an STI, what it means to manage it, and things of that nature. But then also explaining that like there's no shame in the game. Like not feeling shame for having pleasure. Like what? I'm not gonna do that. Like nope, not at all. Especially for something so common. So yeah, don't feel shame. Also, like, do not shame somebody else. If your best friend comes to you and says, yo, I gotta tell you something, I found out that I have gonorrhea, do not be a jerkwad to them. You be like, oh, okay, well, did you already go to the doctor? Like, did you get medicine you need? Like, what are you feeling right now? What do you want to express? Like, be there for them. Do not be a shame train and make them feel bad, okay? Okay. So yeah, that's that. Go ahead and check out my Instagram highlights for more information on STIs. Also check out my blog because I got a lot of great info there. And come back next week for an all new episode. But yeah, happy STI Awareness Month. Go learn a few new things. Slide into them DMs if you got more questions. And I'm going to see y'all next week. Deuces.